Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. So, in the last episode we got a few new friends here in this here village that we've been struggling to well, become on friendly terms with. So it's time for us to move on to a different area now. So let's talk to Yogiri and see what she has for. If all are ready, let us depart for reunion in the Azim steppe. Our route will be somewhat circuitous. We will need to return to the Ruby Sea and head north along the coast past Isari. Alright. Alright, I feel like it's actually closer. We just ride there. Because we just need to go through that portal over there. Alright. So I've been between episodes here I've been working on getting flying in this region, but I can't go any further because the next thing I need to pick up is actually on the wrong side of the wall. So we need to continue with the main story quest before we can actually do this. I believe we got all of them here. Yes, we do. And this guy might have no, he doesn't. From here we will turn north until we arrive at the cave, through which we must pass in order to reach the Azim steppe. Lise and Gosetsu have already gone on ahead. We should carry on as well. Ooh. Ah, this one we need to do Palace of the Dead up to level 50 before we can do this one. And quite frankly, level 50 is quite easy to do. Ah, it's a big cave. So, the Azim steppe, and quite frankly I really like the storyline in this area. It's really good. Wow, that's a long cave.
I remember the emptiness, vast and endless. The Azim Steppe, home to countless roaming tribes. A sacred land, watched over by elder gods. Here, we would find Doma's salvation. With the wind at our backs, we walked on, in search of hope, in search of him.
I give you the Azim Steps. Well, thank you. Quite a gift, though. But I should say that. But I should say that this is but one small portion of it. Despite close proximity, Domas rarely ventured this far north. Most find these lands and their people strange and foreign. Fortunately, those who frequent frequent reunion are more welcoming than most. Come, it is not much further. I don't mind traveling. After all, you guys are the ones who walks. I have this beautiful machine to ride on that does the walking for me. And here's our first Ifrit. Go. Welcome to Reunion, my friends. Here is where we will begin our search for Lord Hien. Oh. The hell? When last I spoke with Lord Hien, he said he spent much time in these markets. I had hoped we might find him here today, but alas. Hey, Yugiri, I've been meaning to ask. There are an awful lot of Saila here, aren't there? Oh, I assumed you knew. The Seam Steps has been home to the nomadic tribes of the Saila since antiquity. More than 50 roam these lands, and but they do not constitute a nation. There is a hierarchy of sorts, determining through ritual combat. Funny, if they are so busy fighting each other, you'd think the Empire would be able to march in and take the steps with ease. I wonder why they haven't. Why indeed, Luz? Why indeed? Perhaps they see little value in it, especially given the fierce reputation of the Saila, Saila warriors, who would fight tooth and nail to oppose them. These lands were not made for man. The soil is thin and weather unforgiving. The Saila found ways to survive, it is true, but they are made of sterner stuff than most Imperials, conscripts or citizens. Thanks for taking the time to explain. It sounds like I've got a lot to learn later. Later, I mean. We're meant to be looking for Hien. People from many tribes gather in reunion to trade goods and information. I should be surprised if we cannot learn something of value here. Let us make our inquiries separately, Geoffrey. Geoffrey, why don't you speak with some of the merchants here? Alright. Buzz, fresh buzz. Your choice of lamb or Zoe. Guaranteed to satisfy. How many will you have, sir? Huh? A dolman? Unless another Daskar is keeping him in her yard. He is not here. More fool here if she took Doman for a husband. But enough about Domans. Let us speak of Buzz instead. You cannot come to Azim Steppe and not sample these most traditional of delicacy. Alright. What fortune you have to come hither at this time? Freshly slaughtered every cut available on request. Organs too, horse livers, brains, or a brace of blood sausage, if you desire only a snack. A doman? For meat they make, domans. I guessed. I did see a young Moe in the company of one some few days ago. Let's do this before we forget. There we go. Roasted fish with pumpkin. An excellent foreign delicacy, cooked to perfection. Beloved without the step come. Come. You seek Daumas? Then you're come to the wrong place, my friend. Delicious as my foodstuffs are, they find little favor with those from the south. Now, if it were a Goro you were looking for, on the other hand, then I might be able to help you. They flock to my stall. Alright. Another Falcon portal. Nice. I have brought you a new brush, my beloved. So smooth and silky your mane shall be the envy of every other man. Huh? Say again? You are seeking who? Ah, the Doman. I know of whom you speak. He comes and goes with mall girl. But I could not describe her. I only know what she is. Moi, because I heard them talk as they passed. We should use your keyboard and so enter any phrase that contains moi. M-O-I. In slash S. Oh, it's an L. There we go. Yes, I am all. My name is Serena. May I help you? Oh, I see. You're looking for a Hien. In that case. How urgent this business must be to leave our conversation unfinished. The Kinsai, will you buy it? There is but one bundle left. If not, then I will. But I had not thought to pay so high a price. It is a bargain, for which you should be grateful. If you lack the coin, then the fault is your own, and you will leave with nothing. Please, I must have the Kinsai. The goods themselves requested. The gods themselves requested it. We are bound to their will. Pay me the difference in whisper root. I will sell it to you, to the next apothecary to pass through reunion, and we will each feel fairly treated. But do not tarry. Should another come before you, coin in hand, I will not refuse him. I understand. Thank you for the kindness. I'm sorry, but we must speak of Hien later. I cannot leave a reunion without the that inside. Alright. You want to help me? You want to help me, is that it? I do not know what to say. Thank you, Geoffrey. Thank you. The lumbering ones we must fell wander the plains to the west of Reunion. If we each harvest 2, then we should have enough whisper root. Return here when you have finished. Good luck. Alright, so looks like we need to hunt something. Probably that big guy over there. Yeah, I was right. He died pretty easy. So I need some more. Let's grab that one. There we go. Welcome back, Geoffrey. Have you brought the whisper root? Blessed is he who shows kindness to strangers, for with fortune does he ever ride. Will this quantity suffice? It shall. The king's eye is yours. The gods favor you more than you know, child. Udgan rarely have need of such herbs, and so my stock is limited. Had you come a day earlier or later, I would have none for you. Perhaps the gods guide me. Perhaps the gods guide me here, as they guided grandmother, as they guided this man from the west. Oh.
Hey! How goes the search? Any luck?
What fortune to meet a friend of the young master!
Well met, Cyrena. If you have an inkling as to the current whereabouts of Lord Hien, we should be most grateful for your assistance.
Oh, please! It is I who should be grateful.
Hold! What is this? I came first, you second! Know you to whom you speak? All people of the steppe should. Or have you fought so much that you have forgotten the face of your superiors? Superiors? I spit on your superiority, little prince! Twisted and mad as sand devils your kind are!
Those two don't seem to like each other very much.
Those boys are of the Oranir and Dothal, the two strongest tribes. The children of Azim are destined to rule, so they declare to all who will listen. Their word is law. For now. Grand, flamboyant fighters, but deadly, very deadly. He prances as a horse, as do his brothers after their many recent victories. The Undying Ones too are strong, fearless, and vicious. They often reigned in the past. Now they are sorely tested. Ah, the master of the markets. He is Castir. To fight in reunion is forbidden, and to break the peace is to be banished forever. This he says without words, for words are lies to the Castir. They do not speak.
That's interesting. And all these different tribes share the same lands, do they? No wonder it's tense.
I shall look for you on the field at the Nardum. Mark my words! As shall I. Mayhap I shall take 11 more Dothal heads to make a dozen with yours. I look forward to the day.
The dispute will be settled at the Nardum?
A great battle held on the final day of the Sahan San. During this time, all bonds of hierarchy are broken. All Zayla are equal and free to prepare for the fight. The tribe which triumphs in the Nardum rules until the next Sahan San, which in these lands is now.
Ah, so that is what they call the custom. I presume your tribe will also be taking part?
Not all seek the Dawn Throne. Some are satisfied with their lot. Others, like the Castir, have reason to remain neutral. Them all are lambs among wolves. Long were we content to remain apart and live quietly, but... Never mind that. You seek Hien, yes? I know where he may be.
All right, there we go. Are you afraid of the dark? Have I ever seen that achievement before? That actually looks good. I am going to keep it as it is for now. Long ago, my grandmother, having received a vision from the gods, bade me go forth into the southern mountains. It was there that I found Hien, near death from many wounds. I brought him to our village, and there we nursed him back to health. Afterwards, he chose to remain, that he might repay us for our kindness. Doma set much store by honor and shame, so at first I did not question it. Excuse me, if I could see your map for a moment? Here. He has grown fond of this place. It affords him a view of the market and the steppe. I would accompany you, but I must return to our village to prepare my grandmother's meal. Thank you again for your assistance. Our long-awaited reunion is at hand. Come, my friends. Let us go and greet our Lord and Master. Let's see here. Oh, right. He's up there. So I believe actually you have all of those. Nope, that's something else. And there he is.
The Kami are merciful! My lord Hien, I see you are alive and well.
Ah, you are come sooner than expected. So, my blade or my head? Which would you have of me?
The people of Yansha remain loyal to Doma. I have seen the fire in their eyes. They are ready to rise up and fight. The time is ripe, my lord. Return with us, blade in hand, and lead Doma to freedom.
Naught less than liberty will suffice, then. A pity. It will prove far more difficult to deliver than my head. But if my people wish to pursue an impossible dream, then who am I to deny them? You giri, Gosetsu, and
The scions of the Seventh Dawn, my lord. Good and true friends who opened their hearts and homes to us when we fled to Eorzea. Far across the sea they have journeyed to stand with us in the fight for Doman liberation. To oppose the Empire, as they have in the West, where they are lauded as heroes for their many deeds.
Say no more, Yugiri. Say no more. I observed how you helped Cyrena, to whom I am deeply indebted. For that and for the aid you provided my people, you have my deepest gratitude. There is no doubting your strength nor your character. It would be my honor to fight by your side. So, what of Doma? Arise, my friends, and tell me of our home. I have made my decision. You, Giddy, I bid you return to Yanxia and take charge of our forces in preparation for my homecoming. As for our esteemed guests, I would ask that you remain here with me. I sense you will be a great help in the coming days.
Your will is my command, my lord, but how much longer do you intend to stay?
Oh, only until I have won the contest? I mean to return at the head of a Zayla army.
You mean to participate in the Nardum?
Have you a better idea? Consider how soundly we were defeated before. The Imperials may have since grown weaker, but we are weaker still. 'Twould be folly to challenge them without first supplementing our forces, so yes, I intend to win the Nardum and enlist the aid of every able-bodied Zayla I can. Furthermore, by championing the Mole in the contest, I can at last repay their kindness. Lest you forget they saved me from certain death, and a man who suffers such debts to go unpaid is without honor and unfit to lead.
Just so, just so. Our lord has spoken, you giddy. But take heart. I shall keep him safe. And should it come to it, bring him back by force.
Yeah, I would love to see you.
This
do
is no
that.
laughing matter, Gosetsu. But if these are my orders, very well. Once more, I place my faith in you. Pray look after them both.
Looks like it's up to us then. Though it does seem a bit risky. Isn't Hien meant to be the next king of Doma or something?
So they say, though in truth I am but a pale reflection of my late father. All the more reason to entreat your assistance. For ours is an impossible dream. To set in motion a revolution that will rattle the very firmament and shake off the yoke of the most powerful empire in the world.
Joffrey Richardson, was it? Once again, allow me to thank you for your many deeds in service to Doma. For 25 years did my father rule in name only. My rule, if one would deign to call it that, has been naught in comparison. That changes now. We have a purpose and a plan, and after we take to the battlefield together, we will have a victory as well. But you are a practical man, I can tell. Disinclined to trust in words when action speaks truer. I can relate. So, you two have heard of the Nadam? The great battle for supremacy of the steppe. I don't know why I read the E in the end there. I learned of it during my stay with the mole. To my knowledge, no foreigners have ever participated, much less triumphant in an Adam. But lack of president not withstanding, I should think we would have a good standing to bid them march with us to Doma, should we win. Will they even permit us to fight, my lord? We belong to no tribe of the steppe. We are not without options given what Serena has told me. You see, in accordance with the gods' wishes, her people shall participate in the coming Nadam. And when they take the field, I mean for us to fight alongside them as fellow warriors of the mall. But we need not discuss this at length here. Come, let us head north to Mall Law, where Serena and her people have made camp for this reason. Alright, there we go. Do you have anything for me? Oh. Well, that was a fast quest. There we go. He didn't have anything. What did it say? Northwest. This way. And I believe one of them is up there, so... But that has to wait. Southwest. Oh, alright. Okay, so I think that one, the one I'm actually tracking right now, is up there. Yeah, it says west, so yeah, probably up there. Anyhow, let's continue in this direction. Technically we could actually head up there, but it's kind of complicated to get up there. And we will eventually get up there. Anyhow, I'm going to call this an episode right here. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to hit the like button. And if you're new here, first of all, welcome, and yeah, if you do enjoy my content, then please support me by hitting the subscribe button, and don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my content. I will be back again tomorrow, and until then, stay safe out there.